Welcome to this Express series using the mini ball on the reformer. Today I'm going to focus on the hips, the pelvic position and the lower back. Very, very important area to target when our clients come into our classes or for yourself, because this is the most loaded area of our body. And if we have dysfunction in the hips, it's going to transfer through to the lower back. It's going to come up into that shoulder region and up into the neck. The other important aspect of the short session I'm doing here on the reformer is that we need to be able to get our clients going into internal and external rotation, so that when they walk out the door from your studio, they're able to function and walk better, because that femur has to internally and externally rotate through every step. So today I'm going to just do some nice exercises that we focus on hip extension, hip flexion, mobilizing through that lumbar, but focusing on the core and the hip flexors doing the work, improving the strength of the hip flexors, but also elongating them under tension, under load. Very important, especially like in this day and age when a lot of people are sitting a lot during the day, or their work environment, they're sitting. We want to be able to get their muscles lengthening out, these hips lengthening out under eccentrically loading, so lengthening under tension to get them strong and to get them elongated. So join me with this session. So I'm using the mini ball to start with, and I've got one blue spring on. We're going to focus first of all on pelvic lumbar positioning, and then focusing on just moving the reformer back and forwards, just focusing on concentric, eccentric work through the hip flexors as we focus on the posture. It's getting our clients connected straight away. It's getting them to feel these very important muscles through this very heavily loaded area of our body. And it's getting them to focus on their alignment, so their pelvic position and the rib cage placement. So let's go. So I'm going to place the mini ball down onto the reformer, and I'm going to place my knee on that ball. So immediately I'm going to get into my neutral spine, where my pelvis is lined up. It's not anteriorly tilted or posteriorly tilted. And I want to then engage through my glute maximus, through here, my hip extender and my hamstrings. Importantly also, we want to focus on the leg that's on the floor, glute medius. So glute med and min, we want to connect to as well. So we're going to cue our clients to connect to these muscles. Then I want them to connect to their pelvic floor and their transverse abdominals. I'm going to then focus on the feet. So the feet are very important. So we're going to think about getting our clients to press down through the ball of the foot, spread the toes, and then lift the arch of your foot. So we're getting that activation of the muscles and that fascial connection from our feet. From there, if we need to, we can have our hands down, especially if your client's a little bit unstable. And then we're going to focus just on moving the reformer back and forwards. But when we do that, we're going to focus on maintaining that pelvic stability, the lumbar and the rib cage placement. Then we're going to move, just working through the hips and keeping these muscles that support this region switched on. So now from there, I'm going to press back, creating length. We're under tension. We've got the instability of the ball, which is challenging us to stabilize. Then we're going to place that hand down, connect to that shoulder complex, bring the arm up, and I'm going to get my clients to start to mobilize into that thoracic region. So breathing in and breathing out. At the whole time, we're creating length through the spine. That lumbar is staying in neutral, pelvic position is maintained with the muscles that are supporting it switched on. We've got that length coming through the hip flexors, but they're under tension. So we're eccentrically loading them and rotate. And we're getting some really good work on the leg that's on the ground, the glutes there, as we do this. Last two. And one. Okay, I'm going to transition straight into the middle, because I think flowing session, your classes need to be flowing. So I'm going to get the clients to squeeze a ball. So we're going to squeeze the ball, and then I want you to drop down into spine extension. Now I'm going to get you to hug the ball, and we want the knees under the hips. And we're going to inhale here, and as you exhale, I'm going to get you just to focus on that lumbar. On that lumbar. And then we're tucking under and back. So really focusing on the hip flexors and the core and those lower abdominals. As you get this beautiful stretch through the lats, that's going to release that tension off that lumbar region as well. And you're going to really focus on your breath. So I want you to exhale, coming in, and then inhale, return. Exhale, tucking under, and then inhale. And you can do it. Doing quite a few of these just to get people to release and to connect. And coming up, hold. Okay, let's pop over to the other side as we pop onto the ball on the other side. So we're going to take the knee on the ball. We're going to make sure that that big toe is lined up on the back foot on the reformer. And we're then connecting to the front foot. So press the big toe down, spread your toes. And then we're going to come up and find that neutral. Bring the shoulders down, relax, rib cage over the pelvis. And then we're just going to move at the hip joint. We're activating through glute medius and min. We're focusing on our hip extenders, keeping them switched on. And we're feeling what's going on. It's always a good idea. I always get my members to touch their body. We can't touch enough, especially when we're trying to bring our awareness to what's going on. They need to feel, they need to know what's going on. So it's very easy if the core's not switched on here that the pelvis is going to flip and we're just going to be hanging on their spine. And so often I will see that and I'll go and correct them and get them to touch, and I'll touch and we can correct that. Last two, so keep cueing the fact that the core needs to be staying on and the glutes are firing. Hold there. Now we're going to hinge. I want you to lengthen the spine. Take the hand down, set the shoulder position. We're going to inhale, and I'm going to just focus on that thoracic spine. So we might even do this before our footwork in our classes, because it's a great way to start to lubricate our members, to get them moving, to get them aware of alignments. And two more. And one more. Coming up, hold, and then parking your bed. Okay, from there, I'm going to just do a little bit of footwork. And we're going to bring on around about 3 red spring. Headrest is going to be coming up. And I'm going to focus now on the feet, because if we're disconnected from our feet, we're going to have issues right up the body. So connecting, I want you to grab the foot bar with your toes and really feel from the big toes right across those toes that we've got that connection. We're feeling that release through the top of the foot, and we bring our awareness now to our inner thighs, up into that pelvic floor, going into a little pelvic tilt and tuck, and then finding that neutral. We're going to maintain that as we move on. Inhale and then exhale. I'm just going to do a few in footwork, just getting connected, because I want people to feel also that little connection of the muscles that are supporting this whole area. So we're focusing on that little connection into the glutes, so a little connection into your drawing those sit bones in. Okay, from there, we're going to bring those heels on, and we're going to now connect to the feet. So the toes, pulling them back, making sure that we're lined up from the ankles to the knees to the hips, and we're connecting now. So I want to think about connecting into the glute medius, and we're checking that we're not tilting the pelvis, and the ribs are staying relaxed down on the bed. There is that natural space of our spine supported with the core. So it's an inhale and then exhale. And now from there, we're going to take it wide. Now, the important thing here, we're not hanging on the joints. So we want to cue that you're connecting from the big toe up into the adductors, into that pelvic floor. And we're going to push through the heels, and we're going to draw those sit bones in. We're going to lift and connect into those adductors, up into that pelvic floor. And we're maintaining neutral. We're not pushing, we're not tucking and loading the back as such. Okay, let's go. So we're connected right from the feet up into that pelvic region and down and return. Inhale, press. And then I'm going to get my clients to check the alignment of both femurs. There is no point us continuing to allow our clients to just kind of be just going off in another direction and miss this opportunity in the footwork to focus on what is going on in their hip joint right now. Yeah. So are we a bit stuck in the hip? We can't even externally rotate. Are they tight in the inner thighs? Let's have a look at that. Yeah. Okay, from there, we're going to now go, staying wide. We're going to bring those thigh bones into medial. Okay, a little telltale sign if they're tight in those external rotators, they might be tighter on one side. They're not going to be coming into the center. So we want those heels wide. We want to rotate in from the hip, and we want to see that the angle is correct. We want to see that when the knees come together, that's lined up into that pubis bone, right up into the nose position. So we are lined up here. We're not deviating through here. And then I'm going to get people to think about their alignment. Yeah, right from the nose, the chin, through the sternum. That's coming right through to the center of that bed. And the knees are coming back in to the center. And they're going to focus on their breath, especially if they're feeling tight. All right, use the breath. Allow that fascia to release. Allow that connective tissue to start to hydrate. Releasing the restrictions as they move with every breath. Last one. From there, we transition to the high toe. Very important that we're cueing that they're not kind of starting to push their spine down. They're still in neutral. So lifting those ankles, getting right into that high toe. We're going to hold this position. We're going to press away. Then we're going to lower. We're going to maintain that rib cage placement as we drop those heels under. Elevate those heels. So working concentric, eccentric work in the calf muscles as we stabilize through the trunk. Yeah. And return. And press, stabilizing into the trunk. And return. And press. And return. Okay, let's just do one more. Press and return. From there, we're going to lower our headrest down to number 1, and we're going to take it to 2 red spring as we go into hip lift. Okay, we're going to focus on stability of that pelvic position and lumbar. So we're going to inhale and we're going to imprint and come up. Now we're just going to be in that neutral, and now I want you to connect from the feet. I want you to draw those sit bones in, so we're maintaining that stability of that pelvic lumbar and getting them to connect to the glutes. Very important area of the body. And press. So you can take time with this. We want to feel the drawing in of the sit bones, the activation. We're not pushing the pelvis up. We're maintaining this position. And often people find this hard. All they want to do is push up, or they'll be hanging on the spine. So the important thing that we're not hanging on the spine, that these muscles are working to stabilize the trunk. And we're aware of our feet. So we're keeping those toes lifted, connected. Our ankles aren't rolling in or out. And we're watching that our thighs are tracking correctly. Hold and then imprint. Taking the headrest down flat, we're going to come up, right up into shoulder bridge. And we're going to roll all the way up. Hold. Okay, we're connecting. We're going to hold this position. The hip joints are neutral. And we're going to activate through the lats. It's going to give us more connection and feedback into the glutes. We're going to push away and we're going to keep those feet active. We're going to focus on the ankle joints and then on the glutes and then on that rib cage, staying in and not popping. Okay, we're working parallel. I'm going to change this. One more here. Now from here, we're going to go wide and we're going to externally rotate. Then I'm going to get you to rock in and out. So we're staying under load, in and out. We're just moving the femurs in the hip joint. And we're maintaining this position, the stability of the pelvic lumbar, as we start to manipulate the tissue around the joints. Good. Under tension. 4. That's it. And 3. 2. Now we're going to hold it in. Okay, we're going to really squeeze. We can really feel glute medius working. From there, we're going to fold it. The hips come straight down. We're going to maintain that position and then drive up. Inhale, come down. Exhale, press up. Inhale, come down. Exhale, press up. Stay there. We're going to take those feet a little wider. We're going to try and rotate those femurs in a little bit more. We're going to challenge our members and we're going down again. Inhale. Exhale, press. 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Hold. Externally rotate. Walk onto the balls of your feet. We're still under tension. Okay, we're coming into that froggy position. We're driving those heels up, getting those muscles working around that ankle joint. And we're going to push away. Breathe out, return. And press away. And return. And press away. And return. Last 2. And press away. And return. One more. And press away. And return. Hold. And then imprint your spine. Bring those knees into your chest, have a little release. And we're going to come into a side lying position. We're going to take it down to a red spring. I'm going to lower the foot bar slightly. And just one red spring. And we're going to use our mini ball to support our neck. Really nice position because our clients can feel quite relaxed in their neck. They're lined up in their neck. And then we're going to place the strap into the top foot. So we're going to do some side lying positions. So really nice for anyone that's maybe pregnant women, anyone with any back pain. They may want to do this on lighter spring. But just getting them to really focus on alignment and on these essential muscles through this whole hip region. A few essential cues is thinking about lifting through the rib cage, lifting through the waist, so we're not sinking on the spine on the bed. We're going to draw up and we're getting that full connection right up, and use this bottom arm to just kind of slide yourself down so you're not jammed around the shoulders. We want those shoulders down. We're going to flex the ankle and then just lift and lower. Lift and lower. It doesn't take much. Inhale, lift and lower. So we're focusing on the abductors. We've got great work into the glute medius, but we're in parallel. Okay, so parallel. We're building that strength in parallel. Up and down. One more. Up and down. Now I'm going to get you to go into internal rotation. Important thing here is that the pelvis is still in neutral, and we're going to lower the knee forward and then do a little push back, and we're staying in internal rotation. Back, come down and then push back. And being on one red spring doesn't take long because those muscles are under tension the whole time. And press down and press. But the important thing here is that we're maintaining that position of the thigh bone in the hip joint. Down and press. 4 and 3, 2, and 1. Let's reverse it, and we're going to go into external rotation there. And I'm going to get the clients to push towards the ceiling and the wall. We're going to check that our pelvis is still upright and neutral. Okay, we're not rolling back. Bring the leg in front and then take it back. So we're back into parallel, flex, and then pull back and points. Flex, and then pull back and points. Let's do one more. Flex, and then pull back and points. Return, strap comes out. We go straight over, and we're going to pop over to the other side. So we're going to sit back on the reformer, pick up the strap. We're going to log roll on. We're going to line ourselves up, lengthening out through the spine, and then pop the strap into the top leg. First exercise, we're in parallel. We're lengthened out, we're in alignment, lift and lower. Just a small range, up and down. Lift and lower, and we're cueing the alignment from the hips to the shoulder. Eyes are forward, lengthening through the neck, pulling up the rib cage, connecting to the obliques. Last one. From there into internal rotation. Again, we're not losing that alignment of the hip joints and that pelvic position. Dip down with the knee and a little push back through the heel. And push back. Again, every breath, we're going to try and get a little bit more movement in the hip joint and push. Last one, and press. Go into external rotation. We're going to check the pelvic position, and we're going to push towards the ceiling and the wall, and press. Keep lifting through the ribs and the waist, and 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Take the leg in front. Okay, hold, connect, inhale. We're going to pull back, point. We're going to flex, focus on length. And exhale, point, squeeze through the glutes. Maintain that position. Inhale. Breathe out and pull back and squeeze. 2 more. Breathe in. Exhale. Taking that leg out of the strap. We're going to come into some stability work where we focus on the glute. So we're going to take the foot bar up. We're going to stay on the one red spring. And we're going to place the hands just around inside that shoulder rest. Now, walking the knees back. We want to find our alignment. So we want to connect, making sure we're not flexed, we're engaged, so we're drawing up through that pelvic floor. And then I'm going to get our clients to connect into that shoulder complex. So we're going to pull the shoulders back. We're going to activate through the muscles through the shoulder complex, serratus anterior. We're going to lift the sternum. And then we're going to place the right leg on. Then we want to push away, get the heel on. And we want to feel that alignment of the pelvis and our spine. So our eyes are going to look down and forward, and we want to maintain that. We're going to hug these arms in, get those shoulders activated. We're going to bend the knee and lift and extend. Option 1. And we're going to maintain alignment as we build this stability through this whole area. Then option 2, we're going to extend the opposing arm. And often people find this hard to be able to maintain the alignment. All right, parking, and we just can go on to the other side. So we're going to place the knee down, place the heel on, push away, and we hold that position. We realign, we get centered, we get connected, then move in and press. Inhale, exhale. So one option, having both hands down. Second option, having that opposing arm forward. And return. Parking the beds, we're going to turn around and we're going to take the right foot up onto our foot bar. And we're going to just hold and balance. And we're going to press and return. Press, return. We're focusing on the stability of the pelvic lumbar. Then I'm going to get a little bit of a rotation happening. And return and rotate, just taking it to where you can. So we've got the hips under tension. We're opening up through the hip flexor here. We're activating through the glutes. We're stable through the trunk. Then we're adding that rotation. Last 2. Hold, just working through the hip, and we're going to reach and extend. And then take the hands down, drive away, stretch out. And then bring it in, lift and extend. And then push away, drive away. And release. Okay, let's pop onto the other side. So we're coming up onto the ball of the foot. We're activating, keeping active through the glutes. And we're just pressing away and then bring it in. Pressing away and then bring it in. We're going to add rotation. So we're going to get inhale, rotate, return, exhale. Four. Bring it in. And 3, and 2, and 1. Bring it in, hold, and lift, reach, and then press away. And then lift and reach, and then press away. Let's do one more. Lift and reach. And then press away and return. Okay, we're going to come down with a light spring. So I'm going to stay on 1 red. You could go on to 1.5 if you've got a sticky mat available. I'll leave it just at 1 to show you. Okay, so we're going to bring our feet up and we're going to push away. We're going to lift up through the spine, connect. Okay, we're going to lengthen out through this posterior chain, beautiful. From there, I'm going to get you to tuck under, inhale, and then exhale, pull up. Inhale. Breathe out and lift. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Last 2. And this could lead into your stomach massage, whole repertoire here. 1 more. And up. Beautiful work for the hips, so building that strength. And return. I'm just going to adjust my foot bar. I'm going to go into semicircle. I'm going to take it, because I'm tall, to 2-2. Otherwise you'd get clients to go to 1-1. And we're going on for 2 or 1.5 spring. Now, we're going to come on. It's a really nice hip work in external rotation. So we're going to come forward and we're going to open up the hips, extend those arms, and we're going to push away, and I want you to wrap those thighs together and then drop down towards that spring and then park your bed. Then push away and then pull up and then bring the bed in. Push away, so connect into the glutes. We're going to lower down, mobilize into that lumbar, and then push away, and then pull up and return. Let's reverse it. Drop down, articulating that spine down, and then drive away. Lift and park. Press and return down. All the way up. Push away. Lower. Bring it in. Lift. Press away. Bring it in and return. Press all the way up and release. Just really nice for the hips. It's getting that spine moving, that whole lumbar region, and creating that good strength work around that hip region. Okay, let's finish off with a couple of exercises, really nice lunges that we can bring into our classes, that you can bring into your own programming. So I'm going to get you onto a red and a blue. We're going to do some nice lunge sequences that we can incorporate into our classes. So we've got the heel of the hand coming on. We're going to push back, drop those shoulders. So I'm just going to adjust my springs. So gear bone stopper coming back to my normal setting. So heel of the hand, we're going to set the shoulder position, connect, engaging the core so we're not hanging on the spine. Okay, making sure we're cueing that. We're activating the glutes, our alignment is correct on the spine, and our feet are correctly positioned on the floor. Moving into a flying lunge, a lunge kick, cardio lunge. I'm just going to add a few options. And lift. And we just want to challenge our members. I want to challenge my clients by just adding a little lift and flexion and then coming down. So we're working concentric, eccentric work through the hip flexors. Up, our hip extenders are working. Up, and then I take it to the next level where that heel, that foot does not touch the ground. And lift. A lot more hip strength required. And 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Step down. We're going to take that half spring off, and we're going to press away and then bring it in, and press away and then bring it in. So we want the hips going straight back as we now elongate through the adductors and work into glute medius. And press 4, and press 3, and 2, and last one, and then coming up. Okay, let's pop over to the other side. So we start from the top in our cardio lunge and flying lunge. 1.5 spring, red and the blue. Bring those shoulders down, lining up, the front foot important. Lining up, inhale, shoulders down, exhale, lift. We want to squeeze the glutes as we take that leg up. And we want to point, we want to extend that foot. We want to plantar flex, up. But we don't want to take it out of control. That often people that, can go into these big ranges that they tend to lose that control. Up. Adding on, we're going to pull up and flex. We're going to bring the pelvis to the ribs. Inhale, coming forward, eyes looking forward, then go under and flex. Then we're going into the next one where we're hovering that foot, a lot more core, a lot more hip strength, and down and lift. Just challenging those members that want the option. Last two. Release. Okay, we're taking the half off. We're coming up, lining up, and we're going to press, then bring it in. Press, then bring it in. Last two. One more. And release. Well, I hope that was inspiring for you. You know, often members are a little bit fearful of doing lunges or doing things with bending the knees because of arthritic conditions. I've got that. I've got stage 4 arthritis. I've got torn meniscus. So the important thing is that we teach our clients, we teach our members alignment, because once we've got alignment, we can then focus on strength and mobility. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.